Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. It's your boy, Jim Hacking. It's Friday, the 27th of January. This is episode number 307 of the Immigration Answer Show. I am here today with my trusty sidekick, Ms. Hooley. She's watching those comments. She's helping people in the waiting room. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Hope you all have great plans for the weekend. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for ending your work week, starting your weekend with us here at Hacking Immigration Law. I am super happy to be here. If you haven't introduced yourself, please go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know who you are and where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. The comments during the show always make us happy. Many times we're giggling at the things that people are saying in the comments, especially when somebody comes on the show laying down with no shirt on saying, "Hey, Jim, what's going on?" We haven't had one of those in a while, but hopefully we'll have one here real soon. I'm going to be here for the full hour answering as many of your immigration law related questions as possible. My leads team has asked me to make an announcement, and that is this. When I'm sitting here talking to people, I'm doing the best I can trying to do all these. There's lots of moving parts. I got people in the waiting room. I got people on camera. I got people in the comments, and people sometimes ask me about their case. Sometimes I tell them to send me their stuff so that I can look it over. Just because I say send over your stuff doesn't mean we're going to take your case. Many times we're not. We turn down more cases than we accept. We don't take every case. We don't take every time someone wants to hire us, every time someone wants to give us money. We turn that case down if we think we can't add value, if we think we can't help. So people shouldn't get mad at my leads team when Mr. Jim said, send my stuff over. Doesn't that mean you're my lawyer or you're going to be my lawyer? No, it does not. Just because I ask you to send stuff over doesn't mean that we're going to take your case. We look at every case on its own. We judge the merits of every case on its own 2 feet. And most importantly, I'm just running a show here. I'm not like giving clear legal advice on this. I'm talking general immigration principles. I'm talking generally about the kinds of things that we see. I talk about processing times. I try to give as much information as I can, but there's no substitute to talking to our leads team, talking to an intake lawyer if it's the kind of case that we could possibly handle, and then letting them decide. I trust Paul, I trust Ryan, and I trust all the other attorneys in our office because they know what kind of cases we can help with. So, we don't help with student visas. Why don't we help with student visas? We don't help with student visas because many student visas get denied. And there's no need for an immigration lawyer on a student visa. There's no need for an immigration lawyer for a visit visa. So we're not going to get involved in those kinds of cases. And people shouldn't get mad at us for the cases that we choose to turn down. So I guess there's been some bad blood lately, some bitching and moaning because Mr. Jim said, send me the stuff. So I guess I either need to be a little bit more careful about the stuff that I ask people to send over, or I need to keep educating people and reminding people that just because Mr. Jim says, send that stuff over, doesn't mean we're going to take your case. So I hope that makes sense because we're always just trying to help people as much as we can. And we sure as hell aren't going to take people's money just because they want to give it to us. Hope that makes sense. Hope that clarifies things. My good friend Hooley is going to make some reminder banners for below so that when I do ask people to send stuff over, that everybody understands I ain't your lawyer yet. All right. Let's talk to Aziz. What's up, Aziz?
Assalamu alaikum, Jim. How are you doing today?
Alaikum salam. Good. How are you doing?
I have an easy question for you.
Nice.
So,
I like easy ones.
what steps do I have to take if immigration court has never sent my file to my field office after termination of my case?
Yeah. So I guess you have
it's been 8 months since the court decision.
You have an approved I-130 and you filed for 45 in court and then judge terminated proceedings?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, so what does USCIS say when you ask them where your file is? They say it's still with the immigration court?
So I was lucky to enter to my field office with my mother-in-law because she was taking the fingerprints for naturalization. And the officer was super nice and polite, answering my questions. And she checked the case in the systems and she said, unfortunately, the court has never sent anything to them. So that's why the court needs to send them and answer a couple questions regarding the termination to USCIS. So
So, but
that's
you have no doubt that the proceedings were terminated, right?
I have no doubt on that. I double checked after the first video. After the first show. I was with you, so
And
I checked
you have the receipt notice for the 45.
from Texas Service Center that I paid
Yeah.
the fees. Yes,
Which court had your case?
New York,
Have
New York. Yes,
have you called them to say why haven't you sent my case over?
I called them, but they said that we have a G28 representative. Asked them to call.
Okay, so did you have your lawyer call?
Not yet. I
Yeah.
just spoke with the court today.
Okay, this is squeaky wheel gets the grease. So you need to get your lawyer bothering them every day until they send it over, or you need if your lawyer does a lot of deportation work, then the next time they're over there, they should just stop by and say, "Hey, look, here's the case, here's the A number. Can you guys send it over there and see what they'll do?"
And do you think so? I have to mention that I have another pending case because I knew that something was going to be with my case, and I filed complete another case, paid again the fees like a backup case. Should
A
I bother
45,
with the first?
a
Yes,
backup
that's correct.
45.
Yes, with the
Uh,
USCIS.
Yeah, I mean, you might. Yeah, I would. I mean, the thing is, as long as your case is classified as under the jurisdiction of the immigration court, they can't approve case number. USCIS can't approve case number 1 or case number 2.
I see.
So the big hurdle is it's almost like your file is in this locked box called EOIR. You need to get that box unlocked, opened, and then empty the box and put it into the USCIS box. So you may end up having to sue them. Hopefully not, because but a lawsuit would work well. A lawsuit would get what happens when you sue them. The U.S. attorney would talk to USCIS and say, "Hey, what's going on with Aziz's case? I don't know. Let me call the immigration court. Hey, fool, send that shit over to USCIS so that we can do a 45 interview." Okay. And then they would schedule your interview and then you'd be done. So a lawsuit would work for this, but I just don't know if you want to spend the money.
I see. And the last question: let's say if they finally send the case to USCIS, in regards of backlog, what would be my priority? Are they going to put me like in the end of the backlog, or probably yes, right? The end of the backlog.
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's clear. That's clear.
What field office are you going to? Manhattan?
Field office? No, I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a great field office, and it's also a good one to sue. They're very nice, and in fact, they get working on it before they notify the U.S. attorney. That's one of my favorite places to sue.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Hopefully, you won't need to. Thanks, Aziz. See you, buddy.
Thanks so much. Have a great one. Bye bye.
Later. All right. Let's say hi to Nashwan. Hi, Nashwan.
Hey, boss, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. A couple months ago, I got on live with you. I don't know if you remember. I'm from Zoho, Iraq.
I think I do remember. I think you had
Yeah,
a problem with a wife. Was there a problem with a wife?
yeah. I had the messed up attorney that messed up my wife's I-1 864 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I took your advice and did everything you asked me to do to get the case approved. You told me to renew the thing and write them a letter. So I sent all that over and everything, all my documents got accepted by NVC. And now it's been like 4 months since it's been accepted. And my case is, her appointment's supposed to be held in Ankara, Turkey. And I'm just waiting on them to give us a call, interview date. And she's 8 months pregnant. So I keep trying to get it expedited, but they keep saying we can't.
Are you a U.S. citizen or a green card holder?
I was born in Guam. I'm a citizen.
So once that baby's born, you're gonna have to file. Well, oh, so they're a U.S. citizen. They'll be a U.S. citizen. Okay, so you'll have to do the. Yeah, I think you're just waiting. Ankara is really backed up. They're taking cases from Syria. They're taking cases from Iraq. So
Everywhere, yeah.
I think you're just waiting.
Yeah. Do you know if there's anything they can be done or?
When did USCIS approve the I-130?
September 22nd,
What year?
2022.
Yeah, you're just waiting then.
How long you think? How long
I'd
you
say
think?
January of 24, you could sue them.
January of next year I can sue them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but right now just waiting game.
Just right now, waiting game. Yep.
Mm. And nothing I could do is except wait.
Just wait.
What if we moved it to another embassy?
I wouldn't mess around with that.
Yeah, it takes too long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you documentary qualified?
Yeah, she documentally qualified now.
Yeah,
As of
so I just sit tight.
okay, and don't bug them no more, right?
I'm always up for bugging them, but maybe just once a month.
Yeah. No, the expedite reports request.
Waste of time.
Oh, so what would bugging them be?
Just asking them what's going on with your case. You can do expedite requests. It's all the same. It's not going to do anything.
Because I called them one time. I called Anchor and I got in touch with someone once, and I gave them my wife's passport number and my case ID, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're not in the system here."
Yeah, you're still in New Hampshire, so you got a while to go.
So I would have to contact MVC.
Yeah, but they're not going to do anything. So I would just rest.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Nashwan.
Thank you, brother.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Let's say hi to Ashwin. Hi, Ashwin.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Just a background about myself. So I applied under the EB1A category back in November. And my priority date is 1st of November as well. And I received my 140 approval, and I'm on a pending I-485. I just received my EAD last week, and I put in an expedited request for my I-131. I know you hate the question, when's my expedited request coming? But, they are requesting for further proof for my specific circumstance where
What's the basis? What's the basis of the expedite request?
I'm trying to help sell my parents' house in Canada.
Oh yeah, dude, that's not going to work. They don't care about that. I mean, they don't care if your parents dying back home.
Gotcha. The other thing is, I'm also on a TN visa, and this was a self-petition application. So
the 45.
Yeah, so the 140 and 485 together, right? So if I were to travel, would I necessarily have any hassle at the border?
Yeah, you would have lots of hassles. Number one, a TN is a non-immigrant visa, and you're trying to adjust based on that. But more importantly, if you leave the United States, your 485 is abandoned if you don't have your advanced parole. So don't do that.
So I'm anticipating in advance. So if I say in a perfect world, I actually got my 131 in the next few months. At that point, is it safe to travel, or is it where it's only to? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I would have to surrender my TN as well.
Probably. Yeah.
Gotcha. And how long is 485 taking these days? Especially in if it's on a expedited approval kind of thing.
Expedite is bullshit. What office are you? What office? Where do you live?
It's Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Lawrence, Massachusetts. Okay, so not Boston.
No, yeah, it's a suburb.
Like a suburb office.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably about a year. You might not get an interview. In the old days for employment, we didn't have interviews, so you might get it waived. But just real quick before we back up, if you could avoid giving up the TN and stay here, I would vote for that if you can.
So stick to the TN instead.
Yeah, I mean, going home to sell your parents' house, hire a lawyer to do that. Just get someone else to do it. Why do you have to do it?
Okay.
And that's going to be the response to the expedite request, I think.
Gotcha. And one last question. So my parents are currently on an E1 visa, and they are looking to self-petition under EB1 category as well. Is that something that's allowed under that visa category, or is that still something we have to worry about, similar to TN?
Yeah, I'd have to check. I don't know. I've never had an E1 visa.
Gotcha.
But if it's a non-immigrant visa, and they might be putting it at risk by applying for a green card, especially if they're outside the United States.
Gotcha. All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ashwin. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, let's say hi to Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. I'm so glad I got a chance to speak with you directly. I have a quick question. I have a cousin. Her mother is a U.S. citizen. She's 84 years old.
Mom's 84?
Yes, and she's in her 40s. Now, Mom has filed a petition for her, but mom also moved back to Jamaica. The daughter, her sister, was also helping with the affidavit of support, and she passed. What's the chance of this going anywhere?
Well, how long ago did mom apply for daughter?
November 23rd of 21.
Okay, and mom's a U.S. citizen.
Yes, she's in Jamaica,
Is D married or unmarried?
unmarried.
So I just looked at this today. The wait time for those are 9 years. So
Oh
they're
my
working on
God.
cases from 9 years ago. I think it was 9. Yeah, 2014. I
Mm-hmm.
looked at this today. They're looking at working on cases from 2014. So,
Mm-hmm.
do we think mom's going to live 10 years?
That's what I'm thinking also. Well, what would happen
I mean,
if
in theory, you can do a substitute person if the I-130 has been approved. Has the I-130 probably is still pending, right? That's going to take 5
yes,
years.
it gives you that status currently
Yeah.
being reviewed, cases being reviewed.
I think the chances of daughter coming to the United States on an immigrant visa based on mom's petition 10 years from now is very remote. I think that's probably unlikely going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, another sister was able to get her green card before her sister passed. So she is here currently. And the chance of her being the substitute is it 0?
No, it's not 0, but I think you have to make a compelling case. And I think more than anything, it's one of these things that I've heard about in the wild, but I've never actually seen happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't actively tried to do one of those cases. One of the attorneys in our office has had those, Katerina.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could have her on here to talk about it, but I think it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
hard to pull off. And the main reason it's hard to pull off is because it's just hard to get their attention, to get them to even decide whether or not to let daughter substitute for mom, right? Sister to substitute for mom, right? So it's just logistically very difficult to get them to change gears and start thinking about sister as opposed to mother.
Right, right. And then, of course, if sister is filing for sister, it's more than 9 years at this point.
Yeah, that's like 16 years. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's ridiculous.
It is. It is. It's just crazy. All right. That was my question. You answered it, and I appreciate chatting with you. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Barbara. You too. Have a
You
good
too.
day.
All right.
All right. All right. Let's say hi to Chatiana. Hi, Chatiana.
Chaitanya. Hi, John.
How you doing?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Great. What can I help you with?
So I'm currently in the US. I had applied for my adjustment of status based on an EB-5 visa, and I'd applied for the I-131 advanced parole and the EAD in July of last year. I've got my EAD, but I'm still waiting on the advanced parole.
Yep.
So I was trying to travel in about a month's time, and I haven't got the 131 yet. I just was wondering, like, what's the likelihood that I would receive it by then, and like if I am able to travel.
I mean, July is freaking 6 months ago, and you want to go a month from now? Do I think? I mean, if you haven't got it in 6 months, I don't have much hope that you're going to get it in 7 months, I guess is my answer. What we're seeing is 6 weeks or 6 to 12 months. That's one or the other.
Okay, so probably.
I certainly wouldn't buy. I certainly wouldn't buy a ticket hoping that it comes. Let me say that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks for coming on. All right. Let's say hi to Tony. Hi, Tony.
I'm good. How are you?
Great. What can I help you with?
So I filed adjustment of status through marriage, and that was in September. But I did my fingerprint in October, and I haven't received anything yet. Just that my case is being reviewed, and that's why I was coming on to ask what can I do?
What kind of status did you have at the time that you applied?
I was out of status.
And what
based on a B1, B2.
How long have you been in the United States on your expired B1?
Like it was like 4 years.
Yeah, so I think those automatically they just slow those down. where did you do your biometrics? What service center or field office?
The field office was in Raleigh, and my case is right now at the National Benefits Center.
And did you file with an attorney or without an attorney?
With an attorney.
And if I were to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is we submitted very, very little marital evidence, and 10 is we submitted a lot of marital evidence, how much would you say you submitted?
Like a 5.
Okay. How long did you know your spouse before you got married?
6 months.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're just waiting. Like I've been telling people, work cards are taking either 2 months for a small number of people. Mostly it's 6 to 8 months. You're at the 4-month stage since biometrics, so I think you probably got two more months.
2 more months. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Thank you.
Bye, Tony. See you, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Flying through him today. Let's say hi to Ali. Hi, Ali.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. What's up?
I just have a question. Like, what's the probability for like a master degree holder to have NIW approved?
So here's my $1 million question on a national interest waiver request. So you understand that ordinarily for an employment-based green card, that a employer has to be found, and the employer has to go through the perm process. They have to show that there aren't any Americans who can do the job, that they're paying the prevailing wage, and all that other process that goes along with an employment-based green card. You understand that?
Yeah, for AB2 and AB3, yes, I'm aware of this.
So then my question to you is, why do you think that what you're doing is in the national interest of the United States so that they can forgive you from that requirement?
Well, the USCIS like published recently like a special consideration for STEM graduates that they can waive it. What I
Right,
have
that's true, but tell me about you. I want to hear about you.
I don't have. I'm just a structural engineer. I work in a special projects, but I don't have a patent. I don't have a real contributions in the field of the structural engineering. Rather than like just an advancing in my career. That's pretty much.
I think you can probably find a lawyer who would take your case and file a national interest waiver. I think it'd probably have about a 10 or 15% chance of getting approved. If you're planning on relying on people that you work with or your grad school advisors to write your letters of recommendation, I think it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna work. I think USCIS's position is you should focus on getting an H-1B and then finding an employer to sponsor you that a master's degree in structural engineering is sort of a dime a dozen, and there's nothing special. It's not like you're working on COVID research or something like that, where it would be in the national interest to say, no, you don't have to go through all that BS. We're going to go ahead and just give you the green card without an employer. So I don't think this is going to work.
So you mean the national interest waiver is mainly for researchers who work independently?
The national interest waiver, again, is for people that have jobs that it would benefit the United States to not make you get a work permit, to not make you get an employer, to make you go through the whole process. You're asking them to forgive you from not having to do everything, from bending the rules to give you a green card, not like everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. There's no statistics because I've tried to research online, like how much is the denied rates or how much is the acceptance rates. Like there is no statistics that have been published by the USCIS.
I'm very conservative on that. I don't know if there's statistics on that. I don't know. I could probably check that, but I'm very conservative on it. And again, I think you could probably find 3 or 4 immigration lawyers who would take that case, but I think it's just because they want money.
I see. Yeah, I've seen that online. Yeah, but mainly they're focusing on researchers or like people, easy cases, I would say.
Yep.
Oh, all right. That's
Bye, Ali. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
See ya. All right. Let's say to Johnville. Hi, Johnville.
Hello. Yeah, this is Gloria.
Hi, Gloria.
Yeah. Hi, Jim. I just want to ask for my mom. So she overstayed here during COVID, and apparently they canceled her when we're going back to here. The airport staff said that she can come because she should go to the embassy because there's an issue about her visa.
Mhm.
So um should she go to the embassy to cancel it? And I don't know why they cancel it. We filed for an extension for her visa while she's here during COVID.
Yeah. So when did mom arrive on the long trip? When did she arrive?
She arrived here October 8th,
Of what
and
of
it's
2019, 2020?
2019. Yeah,
Yep.
2019, and then it's valid until April 7 of 2020. And then her return ticket was April 4, and then that time the airport got locked down and everything. So March 23, or I think March 19, we filed for that extension,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't hear from USCIS until September when we got that letter. It says that she's valid to stay until July 29 and
Of what
of,
year?
of the 2020.
So in other words, they
It's late.
they approved it, but after, and they said we're going to give you until July, but they didn't do that until September. So then,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that sounds like them. Okay, so then what
And
happened?
it's like all the airports are closed that time, and like mainly Philippine airline is closed that time. So
Yeah.
they still canceled the visa, I guess. Now we
Well, hold on.
emailed them
There's one last important question. When did mom actually leave?
November 13, 2020.
And what efforts did mom make to leave the United States between April and November? Did she try to get tickets? Did she document all
Yeah,
that?
we consistently, because my grandfather is dying that time and she really have to go home. So we called the airline every time. They said there's no definite like schedule of flights. So until November, then there's like a greater chance that she can fly back. So
And do you have proof of those efforts?
we have, yeah, we just talked to the airline by phone.
Okay. So since mom tried to get a ticket to come to the United States, she hasn't gone back to the embassy or applied for a new visit visa.
Not yet. We
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's the next step. I think the next step is to apply for a new visit visa, treat the other one as revoked, and go from there and try to make her case. Fact is, I knew this was going to happen when everybody was overstaying during COVID, and I knew it was unfair, but I knew the State Department was going to screw people just like this. So I think that you should get your mind around the fact that she's probably not coming on a visit visa anytime soon. She can try once every 6 months, but don't get your hopes up.
Okay. If I will file for an immigrant visa for her,
Yeah.
will it be an issue if she overstayed?
No. No.
All right. So we can do that. Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye, Gloria. Take
Thank you.
care.
Take
Okay.
care.
Oh, Gloria, just let me make sure. So I don't. So she left in November. They gave her
13.
till July. So the most she has is 4 months overstay. Yeah. So that won't affect her immigrant visa. So she's okay.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
But make sure that any questions that are asked, either at USCIS or at the National Visa Center or the embassy, that she says, "Yeah, I overstayed," and then explain why. Don't lie about it. Right?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank
See
you
ya.
so much.
Bye. All right. Let's say hi to Levi. Hi, Levi.
Hey Jim, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
All right, good. You can hear me. Perfect. I got a question about my petition, and it's in NVC. It's documentarily qualified on December 6th, 2022,
Okay.
last month. And I got an email 3 days ago. Case has been expedited to post.
Great. And which embassy?
Manila.
Ah. Okay.
So my question is, and I've done a little bit of Googling about that message because that's just a message within SIAC saying case has been expedited to post. And what I've heard about it is that you can apply or you can schedule, but there's also other uh, research that I've done says the embassy will schedule it. So I don't know what this means. Does this mean I will have to go to schedule the interview,
I would
or should I
try.
wait?
I would try. If it lets you, it lets you. If not, I mean, that's to me. I don't really care what it says on the internet. It's once it's possible, do it if you can.
I've also read about like case ready, quote unquote, case ready, but I
Mhm.
haven't gotten an email about that. Should I wait for that
Yeah.
before I attempt
I
to
don't.
schedule?
I'd poke around and look. I doubt you're able to schedule it yourself right now. I doubt it. So I would just poke
Mm.
around, see what you see, and then if it looks like you can schedule it, do it. But I bet you can't.
Because basically it's looking for that quote unquote case ready reference number or whatever that is for an email before I can schedule an interview.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess you made an expedite request.
No, I did not. That's why I was surprised when I see that it says expedite to post
Yeah.
when I
Don't get
didn't. And
don't get your hopes up.
I'm assuming it's like they just do that for all applications after the fiscal end of last year.
No, I don't think that's it. I just think they might have made a mistake. I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Okay. Okay. So just wait for that email of quote unquote case
Yeah,
ready and then try to
or
schedule.
poke around. Yeah, poke around and see what you can find.
Okay. Okay.
All right, thanks,
All
Levi.
I need to know. Thanks.
Bye, buddy. All right, let's say hi to Daniel. Hi, Daniel.
Hey, Jim. Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine. Thank you.
Alrighty. So thank you for taking me on the show beforehand. I've been on the show. So just to kind of refresh your mind, I have DACA. I've done all my FOIAs for CBP, ran my fingerprints with OBIM, and then with USCIS, I've checked everything. So I don't have any inadmissibilities or anything that I should be barred from.
That you know of. Yeah.
That I know of. Correct.
Right.
And my wife has H-1B. And I did advanced parole last year. I had no issues for 2 months. So I sent off another request. This time I sent off a year request for advanced parole. I know it's going to take like 6 months to get approved, 6 to 8 months at least before I hear back for the advanced parole. That's a year long. So I provided pretty strong evidence. So I'm sure it'll get. I'm not sure, but I'm confident that it'll get approved.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm wondering, since she's H-1B. If I do an H-4 visa at Mexico, like within that time frame, that advanced parole in that 1 year, if I go to the consulate to do an H-4 visa, if I come back, I just don't want to lose my job because I'm already doing EB-3 as a fallback plan in case anything happens to her job. I'm just wondering if I come back under an H-4 visa, would my DACA employment authorization still continue? Like, would I still be able to come back into the country and work using my DACA EAD until the H-4 visa, the H-4 employment authorization card comes in?
So I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I don't know of any case in which people have used advanced parole to clean up their out of status.
Oh, I'm not using it to clean it up. The only reason I'm using advanced parole is just if anything happens at the interview and they're like, no, we, they deny me for some reason, just to be able to come back in. Hopefully.
Well, but you have no status other than DACA.
Correct.
So
that's why I'm trying to get an H-4 so I can do adjustment status.
Listen, I understand what you're trying to do. Have you talked to a lawyer about this?
No, we haven't. We were just gonna do the regular.
Yeah, that's insane because you have been in the United States for a really long time without status, and the embassies in Mexico are one of the worst ones to deal with. They could revoke your advanced parole. They could deny you the visa. They could do all kinds of stuff. Even though you did a CBP FOIA, I don't know what's in that CBP. I don't know what they have in their systems. I think it would be absolutely reckless to go and try to get an H-4 visa I think you're setting yourself up for real problems. I don't think they're going to want to give it to you. I think they're going to do everything they can to screw you. And I think this whole plan is sideways. And I didn't even get to finish my original thought, which is that I've never heard of someone using advanced parole to come back to the United States or to apply for a foreign visa overseas so as to come back to the United States. The only time I've ever heard of advanced parole working for people that are on DACA is if they're married to a U.S. citizen and they're adjusting status after they come back. Because in theory, even if it works, you're coming back as a visitor or in some kind of low-level an admission to then transfer to an H-4 here in the United States. I just think it's not going to work.
Do you recommend then I just wait until I do the regular interview for EB3 or sorry EB2 through her?
I don't know that that's going to work either. DACA people can't do green cards based on employment.
Huh? Oh no, that is possible. I'm with a group of people that are doing it and people that have done it. There's like 20 in a group, but I'm just yeah, that is possible.
Well, then here's what I would say. I'm not a good enough immigration lawyer to pull this off. I'm not a good enough immigration lawyer to even know about this. I'm much more risk averse, and I would say if in fact people have pulled that off, and if in fact I'm wrong, find their lawyer and go with them without talking to someone who says everything that you're saying is accurate, because to me it sounds wacky as hell.
Okay. Yeah, I know the law firm. I actually got the names of the law firms and how much they paid. So
good. Well, go pay them. Go pay them then. Don't just try to do this on your own. It's too important. Your status is too important.
Agreed. No. I was definitely going to run it by them too. I just wanted to.
Don't run it by him. Hire a lawyer. You're talking about your whole future. Why are you cheaping out trying to talk to a guy on the internet when you know the lawyers that supposedly can pull this off? I don't understand the mindset at all.
Okay. Alrighty, Jen. Thank you.
Good luck. A lot of people know a lot more than me, man. A lot of people know a lot more than me. I'm just a dumb motherfucker. All right. Let's say hi to Maher. Hi, Maher. You're on mute, my friend.
Hey, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, I have a question for my sister. She was here for almost 10 years under a TPS status, and she applied for the I-131 before she leave, but she left. She had to leave because my mom had COVID and she was in Dubai.
Okay.
And now we're trying to get her back here, and I don't know how. I mean, they're not approving her I-131 because apparently her I-94 saying that she left the U.S.
Well, she did, right?
Yes, she did. Yes.
So when you say you're trying to get her back here, what does that even mean? She needs an independent legal basis to come back. What would be the legal basis for her to come?
That's her TPS status, because she had...
Oh, we lost Maher. Sorry about that. Maybe he can call. Maybe he can call back. All right. Let's say hi to Khaled. Hi, Khaled.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good to see you again. I'm
sure.
fine.
What can I help you with?
I'm from Mauritania. I bet you know Mauritania.
I do know Mauritania.
Yeah. So it's about my case. I've been in California. I've been detained there, and I was supposed to attend my court in December, but they released me before my court, and they changed the date to 13 February.
Okay.
And until now, it's still in California. They haven't yet changed the place.
So what's the question?
I mean, what I'm supposed to do? I mean, I want my court to be transferred to Virginia.
Okay. Do you have a lawyer?
No, I don't have a lawyer so far.
Are you going to hire a lawyer?
But actually, they sent me forms here to fill out, but I'm confused.
Wait, are you going to hire a lawyer?
No, I'm not. For the time being, I'm not intended to hire a lawyer.
Why?
because I just want to know how to change, like to transfer my court
You have to
here.
file. You have to file a motion to transfer venue. It's something lawyers know how to do. Why aren't you hiring a lawyer?
Oh, okay. So I have to hire a lawyer for that. If I don't hire a lawyer, they want to transfer the court.
I think that they might. Where do you live?
I live in Virginia.
Yeah, you can file a motion with the court and see what happens. I don't know how seriously they're going to take it if you don't have a lawyer.
So if I don't like hire a lawyer, I have to go to California and attend my court.
Yeah.
And in case I don't attend my court, what's gonna happen? I mean,
Then they're going to order you deported.
oh my God.
Which immigration court currently has your file, Khaled? San Diego?
It's in It's in California. It's in California.
So I have a friend named Bashir Ghazalim. He's an immigration lawyer in San Diego. He's an Afghan fellow. He's a great lawyer. You should call him.
No, I think Calexico. Yeah, Calexico, not San Diego. Calexico.
What?
Calexico.
I don't know where you're talking about, but he does all of Southern California. You should call him. You should call him and get his help, if nothing else, just to get the case transferred. But I mean, I think you should think about having a lawyer represent you throughout the process. This isn't easy. This isn't something you can do just on your own, I don't think.
Can you do it for me, sir?
No, I don't do deportation.
Oh, okay. Can you give me his number?
Yeah, I'll put it in the comments here in a minute. Just give me a minute, okay? And I'll put it in the comments.
And I have another question.
Sure.
I want to apply for asylum. If I want to apply for asylum, I mean, I have to file my application to the court, or where exactly?
Yep.
Can I apply it now with the court in California, Sanjeev?
You can, but you still have your court date.
Yeah, but will they accept it if I file it to them?
Okay, Khaled, I've been an immigration lawyer for 15 years. I am intimidated and scared myself of filing an asylum case for a client, and even though I've done it before many times. Why do you think you can pull this off on your own? Why are you doing this without a lawyer?
Because I don't have enough money to pay a lawyer.
There's pro bono lawyers.
I called them, but they don't pick up.
You keep calling.
I kept calling for.
Okay. All right. Good luck, my friend. Good luck, Khaled.
Okay.
Yep, I will. I'll put the information in there. I know it's hard to hire a lawyer if you're broke, but he came into the United States with a plan to apply for asylum. Part of me says you got to plan ahead, but I guess that's easy for me to say. Maybe I'm crabby today. I don't know what's going on. Julie, am I being too crabby? I think I am. Dr. Muhammad, how are you?
Hi, Jim. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi. So, I have a case, 751 waiver applied back in 2020, and I got an extension letter, and now after 2 years, I got a RFEs to give a more evidence, like the generic one, like a joint release and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, whatever I applied through a lawyer when I was in Michigan that time, and then I have to move because of my residency. So I am in Miami right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that lawyer, whatever he did, I don't know. I mean, I was not happy with that. Whatever he did, it was filed, but he never gave me any legal advice. What else we can do? So he filed it, and I came here in Miami. And whatever we sent at that time, that was the only evidence that I had.
Well, that might be true, but part of the job of the immigration lawyer representing someone on an I-751 with a waiver is to develop more evidence. So,
yes.
I mean, what if my number one question when someone wants to file for a 751 after divorce is, would your ex-spouse, would they want to hurt you, to help you, or to stay out of it?
Stay out of it.
If I sat down with you and got your whole life story about this relationship, and then I consolidated that into a smaller form and asked them to sign it, would they sign it?
I don't think so.
So they're leaning closer to not helping than anything.
No, because from the very first day they stopped talking to me, and whenever, and they were the one who filed the divorce. I mean, I tried like so we can like save this marriage, but no, I mean, they.
Here's another good question. Of the evidence that you submitted in support of the 751, how much of it was evidence that was already submitted in support of the I-130?
Almost
All of it?
nothing. Just pictures. No. Just the pictures. There was nothing else was submitted.
So the 751, you submitted the form and some pictures, and that's it?
No. Sorry, you asked me for.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
So
sorry. I thought you
what
asked
new
for.
what new evidence did you submit? That's what I'm trying to figure out, doctor.
So I did. There was a one tax report was, and there was a health insurance document,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like a lot of phone calls, email, video calls. Because mostly actually I was away because I was doing my rotation that time in other state. I mean even that was not drafted in the whatever he sent in a first the lawyer. I mean so we were mostly apart, and because I was doing my rotation in other states, and I have letter for those rotations too because
What's the date of your marriage?
it was April 2018.
And was this an overseas visa case or a green card adjustment case?
So I came here on B1, B2, and after like 4 or 5 months, it was completely arranged marriage, and we got married through family, and it was arranged, and we got married after 5 months.
Okay, and then how much time passed between when you got married and when you got your green card?
So I got married in 2018 April. I got green card in 2019 February, and I divorced in December 2020.
So you lived together about 2 years, or did you? I guess
Yes.
a lot of it, if you were on your rotations, you weren't actually living together.
Not like that's the thing. Yeah, we were not living that much together. She was studying, and she was not able to come where I was living. There was my brother place actually because he was a doctor, so he was able to do like pull my rotation and all that stuff.
So how many months of the marriage did you sleep in the same bed?
Not much. I mean, in our culture, we were married, but you know, there's the word I think Ruxti, how we say
Consummate.
So it was not done because of both family was agreed on that, and
So it was never consummated.
never.
Ooh, that's a tough case, brother. No, I mean, there's no wonder they're sending you an RFE. That's a tough case. You're going to need a lot of work. I mean, did your lawyer submit a long affidavit from you? Did the lawyer submit a long affidavit from your family at least about
Yes.
everything that happened?
One affidavit from me, 2-3 affidavit from like my brother, and also from the family who introduced both of our family, and
that wasn't enough. They're not happy with it.
I mean, yeah, they are asking for more things, and I have like a date until 27th of March.
Yeah, well, you can get a little extra time because there's a COVID extension, but
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the question?
So question is, so that lawyer I am not going to hire anymore because he's in Michigan, and I am not thinking at all. You know, like it's I don't know. You are in San Diego and other states, I know.
Yeah,
about,
I mean, we've gotten probably 10 or 15 751s approved after divorce from Muslim men from Muslim countries. I think we could help you with it. I'd be happy to take a look at it and see what we would charge and what the RFE is asking for. And what you have a whole copy of what you submitted?
Yes, everything I have in my own Dropbox. You know.
Yeah. So send it over and we'll take a look at it. That doesn't mean we're your attorney, but just we'll look it over and then we'll figure out if we want to work together. Okay.
Honestly, I sent it to you week and a half ago in the info, whatever the email is here. And I never got. I sent all that I-751 and even an RFE, but I never. It's almost 2 weeks, so I never heard back. So do you know the timeline?
Did you talk to someone here in the office?
Not a call. Just I was waiting if they reply my email.
Okay, so you just emailed without. Did you send an email to info@?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It was almost like a 1.5 week ago, explaining everything, and then I sent the 751 too.
Okay. Do me a favor. Can you call the office and tell them I was just on the show with Jim and I need to talk to Hooli, and she'll track you down so that she can make sure that we have the email. I want to make sure that we have it. I don't monitor that email address, so I don't know, but we'll follow up over the weekend.
Okay. All right. So yeah, can you? I don't know if I have your number here.
Yeah, I'll put it in the comments. Say I was just on. I need to talk to Hooli Halleck, and she'll take care of it.
Okay, sir. Yeah, if you can on over weekend, please, because there's the timeline is like only 2 months left.
Yeah, I got you. Yep.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate
Thanks, Muhammad. Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, let's say hi to Kwame. Hi, Kwame.
Yeah, hi Jim. How are you?
Go ahead.
Good. I got married to my spouse in June, but before that, I had visited the United States on 2 occasions on the B1 B2. My last time of coming, I came in 2020. That was when I met my spouse, and then I went back to my country, and then we have been talking as friends when I was in my country. So last year in May, I came back again on the same visa because it has not expired. And then when I came back, I and my friend, who is my spouse now, we decided to get married because we had talked a lot and we think we like each other. So in the month of May, we got married. I came in May.
You came in May and got married in May?
No, we got married in June, 25th of June.
So like a month after you arrived?
Yes, a month plus some days. Yes. And then we filed for our immigration on the 26th of September. That was when the immigration gave us a reply. And then we were sent the biometrics after a week. I went and took it in St. Louis. And then just after a week, we got an RFE that we need more sponsorship. So we did it, and then we submitted it in January. Mm-hmm. Now we have on our portal that it says they have received everything, and it will take 6 months for them to reach a decision. Now my first question is that, looking at the time that I got in May and we got married in June, is that going to be a problem? Because I was watching one of your videos this morning and we were talking about that aspect.
It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. They're going to think you snuck your way into the United States to get married and that you had immigrant intent, and they're going to make life hard for you at your interview. It's a big, big problem. Yeah.
Well, that was what we were scared about, because.
So you didn't know about that rule?
No, I didn't know about that rule. I was thinking was that from the time you get married and the time you file for the immigration, you have to wait for some time before you file for it. I didn't know you have to wait for about 60 days before you can get married.
Yeah.
We didn't know about it.
So here's what I will say. Where do you think your green card interview will be? Where's your closest field office?
It will be Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I've had cases where people got married under the 60 days get approved. It's a little bit tricky. And the most important thing is how you and your spouse explain it at the interview. You might get a nice officer who sort of forgives you. I think more likely they're going to say that you had some bad intent and that you're going to need a waiver for misrepresentation. Was this like a 5-year multiple entry visa?
Yes, it was a 5-year multiple entry visa, and I came in first in 2018. I didn't overstay. I went back home, and then I came back in 2020. I didn't overstay, and I went back home, and then I came back again in 2022.
I think that helps you, Kwame, because I think that makes it look like you were always trying to follow the rules, that this was a multiple entry visa. It's not like you got the visa to come to the United States and get married right away, right? Like, I think they might believe you that you didn't know, but they're going to ask about conversations you and your spouse had. They're going to If they find any difference between what you say and your wife says, I think you probably need someone to sort of practice with you as your attorney, like get you and your spouse ready. I think this is approvable, but I think you got to be ready for the chance that you might need a waiver.
Okay. But Jen, what is what is the waiver? I don't really what is the waiver? I don't
So
really know
if
what is.
so if immigration decides that you misrepresented yourself when you came through customs, that you said you were coming to visit a friend, but really you were coming to get married, as evidenced by the fact that you got married 6 weeks after your arrival. If they conclude that, then they could say that you need a waiver for your inadmissibility, that makes you inadmissible, ineligible, not able to get your green card without a waiver. So then you have to show that if they don't give you a green card and if they put you into deportation, that your spouse would suffer exceptional hardship. Like, they understand that a spouse being separated from their foreign-born spouse is a hardship. It has to be like more of a hardship. Like, does your spouse have health issues, mental health issues, financial issues that are unique to her, that aren't like everybody else that is separated from a loved one, right? So you have to show it's like a little higher burden. It's a lot more work. It's a lot more expensive. It's a lot more delay. So it's a big old mess. And so that's why you got to work really hard to try to win without the waiver, so that you don't have to do all that other stuff.
Okay.
We can help you with this. We've had many cases in that Western District of Missouri and Kansas City. We could help if you want our help, both getting you both ready for the interview and then getting ready. Like, there's things now that you could do to help get the waiver case ready in the future if you need it.
Okay.
But I think having an attorney in the interview would be really helpful, because you would say, I didn't know. Your spouse would say he didn't know. And then we would be chiming in, yeah, we didn't know. Give him a break. You know what I mean?
Okay. Jim, okay, I think we didn't use an attorney, so we will contact you, and then you're going to help us with that. But my second question is...
I have a question real quick. What country are you from?
I'm from Ghana.
Ghana. Okay. Well, just so you know, I mean, on their list of countries that they're suspicious of, Nigeria is number 1, Ghana is number 1A, right? So they're going to give you a hard time, not just because of you, but because they think men from Ghana come to the United States to get married.
Yeah. Okay, Jim. So on my portal that says 6 months for decision. Is it 6 months until we call for interview, or 6?
That stuff doesn't mean anything. They might call you for an interview tomorrow because they might think they can get you because they figured out that you got married 6 weeks after you arrived. They might have the knives out. They might schedule you very quickly. Right now, you don't want that. You want some time. You want to start getting ready for your interview. You want to start getting the waiver case ready in case you need it. So the last thing you should be worried about is processing times.
Okay. All right, then.
Thanks, Kwame.
I'll contact you, and then we'll know what to do. Right.
Sounds good, bud. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay. See ya. Hello? Are you calling me? No. Are you talking to someone?
No, I was just telling you that Mahir is back, so probably he got a good connection now.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Mahir, how you doing? You're on mute.
Oh, hey, how are you?
So your sister had TPS. She's outside the United States. She left before advance parole. I don't think she's coming back. What's the question?
Because her TPS is still active, it's still valid, and her I-131.
Has she tried to get a plane ticket? Has she tried to come back?
Yes.
And they didn't let her.
They didn't let her in Abu Dhabi.
They're not going to let her. TPS. I think she abandoned her TPS when she left without AP. I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure. I haven't researched it, but that's what my gut tells me. That's the whole purpose of advanced parole, is to preserve what you have when you leave.
Right. So my mom, she's currently in the need of an open heart surgery, and she's here in the US, and she does not want to do it without my sister because she's gonna need some help.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I don't think they're going to care about that one bit.
Okay, I see.
So do you think we can apply for the I-131 again, or
You got to be
it's
in the
not gonna
United
do it?
States. You have to be in the United States physically to apply for an I-131.
And what about humanitarian advance
You,
parole? That's not gonna work.
you can try it,
Yeah.
but usually humanitarian advance parole is you have like an independent way to get here, like a legal basis to come, and it's sort of like an expedite request or something. But they turn. I mean, as cold-hearted, no pun intended, as it sounds, they prevent people from coming to the United States to see their mother, see their father, see their child in life and death situations, unfortunately, all the time. So you can try all that stuff, but no one should get their hopes up.
She did try to go to the embassy and applied for the B1, B2 visa, and the officer there told her, "Hey, I would give it to you, but you have a status there. You have a TPS status. That's if I give it to you, I'm gonna get in trouble."
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna let her come.
Yeah. And there isn't like sue them for the I-131. There isn't anything like that, right?
I only assume when they do something wrong. What'd they do wrong?
Yeah, right. It's just taking forever.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Maher.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good luck, buddy. All right, everybody. That will do it for today's show. I will be back on Monday at 4 p.m. with my friend Huli. Next week, we are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I'm out towards the end of the week because I unbelievably have to go to another interview. I went to a naturalization interview yesterday. I got another one next week. So all is well, but we'll be back next Monday. Hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you, Huli. And we'll see you guys next week.